Anywho. Let's get some levels.
Anywho.
Yeah, that's good.
Anywho.
Excellent.
Colin had a problem and a microphone to spare. Thomas took it up and so the podcast went to air. For weeks and months they trolled through every single DVD. They've unwrapped all the ones they can and now they're cellulose free.
Hello, dear listener, and welcome to Cellulose Free. My name is Colin, and with me, as always, is my fellow film watcher, compadre and son, Thomas.
Hi, hello.
What have you been up to?
Very quickly threw together an explainer video for a maths problem that I wanted to solve, and that has been, reasonably well received. It's not done gangbusters, it's just...
I don't recall getting a notification that happened. Huh. Well, there we go. I'm going to have to...
and even if you hadn't, you
we're
wouldn't...
going to stop recording now. I've got to watch.
It is slow and somewhat meandering, but it's only about 6 minutes long, so...
It's still possible to be slow and meandering in 6 minutes.
Yeah.
Yeah.
We often are slow and meandering over the course of about 6 minutes.
Well, we can stretch it out to 50.
Yeah.
Right.
And went for a walk on Thursday and haven't since.
No. So this 6 minutes is proving Fermat's last theorem?
No.
Right.
No, it's Squid Game related.
Good. You've worked out that they actually run out of contestants before the competition finishes.
There's no. There's a guy who used to produce a column for 538 in which various, usually mathematical problems would be laid out and people would send in solutions. And he's since left 538, but has continued doing it as a separate thing. I
nod knowingly at this whole 538 business, especially considering that it's 650.
The 538 comes from the size of the US Electoral College.
Got you.
Not all politics. The other side of the coin is sports, because there's plenty of statistical analysis to be done about both.
Absolutely.
Currently under ABC News, not our ABC News, the American ABC News, and
the inferior.
It's been through the ringer a bit.
It has a little bit, yes.
I think it's still under ABC News. It might have moved.
I don't know. I'm still nodding knowingly.
I need to look these things up. Otherwise, I'll be left in...
I'm playing bobblehead here as he mumbles his way through it.
Yes, still under ABC News.
Which is great for all those who are watching the video podcast.
Yeah. Did I get up to anything else? No, not really.
No.
Nothing out of the ordinary.
It's been a bit warm, so it makes a great excuse to not do anything.
I'd have walked more if the weather had been more conducive to me walking more.
Uh-huh.
I'd also have walked more if sunscreen that wasn't, 5 or 8 years out of date was all that was readily at hand.
I'll have to do something about that.
Yeah. Did you know, full body sunscreen, the tubes that the Cancer Council produces, those will last you about 3 days.
Yeah. For the amount of sunscreen that you are actually meant to put on, it doesn't last terribly long. We need the big pump packs.
Fortunately, I only really needed to do my arms. The rest of me was pretty well covered.
Yeah. The long kilt and sporran do wonders for covering the bits.
So I didn't use too much of the tube that I'd borrowed off a sibling.
Are you going to pay them back? Anywho.
Yeah, no, that was my week.
Right.
Just consuming media mostly, as every week. You?
Me? It is that week in the rotation where I get drained of my vital essence in both my arm and in my head. So, plasma donation and a therapist's appointment. Other than that, Sorry, there was something concerning the plasma donation. We had media at the donor centre, and I was actually on the Win Television News.
Right.
Yeah, you can see me in blurred form in the background, in my pink T-shirt. Oh, look, I insisted on being blurred. I spoke to the media personalities. Look, I'm in witness protection, so you do need to blur me out. And they did a wonderful job.
Did they use physics to blur you out?
Yes. Careful use of physics ensured the blurriness was a lenticular type of deal. Yeah. There was a guy visiting who had been doing the rounds of all of the blood donor centres in Australia, and he just made it to Tasmania, and it was a bit of a media circus, really. Very noisy. It's usually quite quiet and calm in the donor centre, but it was a bit manic and crazy and loud, and people talking over each other, and these poor phlebotomists still trying to get on with what they're there for, and the actual donors trying to get on with what they're there for, and trying to dodge cameras and bright lights. Anyway, so that was my highlight. I've probably got a Facebook link to it, so you can find out finally what my blurred form looks like. Other than that, I did finally spend all of the vouchers that I'd been accumulating through the medical research trial that I was involved in, and some Christmas money, and I've finally replaced my tablet. And so I've got a new tablet that I'm getting my head around, and it does have a stylus.
Right.
Yes, so I was trying out actually drawing on it, and it works quite well. I'm quite impressed. It's certainly not as refined as the 5 times more expensive iPads, but it will, I think, satisfy the artistic itch.
But they have 5 times more spending power behind them.
That's right. That's about it for me, I think. I should point out, dear listener, that we've got some interesting weather happening here. We've got numerous cloud bursts happening around us and dropping large amounts of water upon us and then stopping abruptly. So that may occur during the podcast recording. And also there's a possibility of thunder. And again, for those who are watching the video podcast, there might be lightning. All right. Hey, we have a film to watch.
We do.
Whilst we've still got power, we should probably do that.
Yep.
What are we watching this week?
We are watching What's Up, Doc?
What's up, Doc? Please tell our dear listener what's up. What's up? I did the same thing last week, and it really wasn't intentional. But what is What's Up, Doc about?
I do have the disc case beside me, but I remember not particularly liking the description that was there, so I've pulled up TV Tropes.
Okay.
Which, in its requisite style, says, Manic pixie dream girl Judy relentlessly pursues Howard, a repressed academic, throughout San Francisco, despite the havoc and chaos, in Howard's apt phrase, that follow Judy wherever she goes. Meanwhile, the satchel switcheroo has happened to 4 identical red plaid suitcases. Judy's personal items, Howard's valuable to him musical minerals, an eccentric rich lady's jewel collection, and some unspecified top-secret government documents.
Howard! That's all that's been going through my head all week, is that woman's screech of, Howard!
Right. It's been 10 years since I've seen this film. I can't remember how I felt then. No idea how I'm going to feel now.
We're about to find out. Thomas is going to take the disc out of its case.
And it's over there.
The question is, has he taken it out of its case yet? It is part of a box set, so... Oh no, it's that kind of box set.
For as much as you can call.
2 discs. All right. He's going to take it out of its case. He's going to put it into the machine. We're going to watch it and come back and talk about it. So we shall catch you on the flip side.
Turn to side B for Barbara.
B for Barbara. Or turn to side B for... what's the other movie that's in
The
that
Main
box?
Event.
The Main Event. which I haven't seen.
Right.
Yeah.
So, seeing as this was on the shelf some years ago, probably should have been part of our other podcast.
Probably should have been, but it's slipped under cover of darkness.
Right.
Let's get on with this, you mongrel. So what did you think?
Oh, it's good, isn't it?
My face is still aching.
Mm-hmm.
It's basically a variation of a grin all the way through.
Mm-hmm.
And we have certainly come across some movies that are far more recent than this, that we've made comments about the pacing being slow compared to today's standards. But I think the pacing in this is just wonderful.
It's a 90-minute comedy.
Yeah.
All I want out of a comedy is 90 well-paced minutes.
Yeah. Every single one of those minutes is well served. And even in its moments of manicness, even that is well paced. Mm-hmm. It's not a case of the comedic equivalent of, say, a Transformers movie, where there is just absolutely so much going on that you don't know what's going on. No, every single thing in this is just timed perfectly.
Yeah. I need a little more laugh density to get to that painful grin level, personally. Mm-hmm. Certainly, I have seen shorter things that have gotten me there. This didn't quite get me there, but I still enjoyed it all the way through.
Could you, though, bear 90 minutes of that kind?
No.
So... No. It would hurt. And
no, I get that from 30-minute episodes of Make Some Noise on dropout.tv, and I need to stop after that.
Yeah, right.
Certain episodes, some of them, it's comedy. It has its ups and downs, especially improvisational.
You can't give away too much in this film, because it really is... Honestly, I do not want to spoil a thing. You really need to watch it. You just need to, which is unfortunate because it is somewhat hard to track down. I did have a look to see, and I think the only place that it is accessible online is Apple. Sorry, I tell you a lie. Tell you a big fat fib.
Is the other one Microsoft?
You can rent it on Apple TV, Amazon, Google Play, Microsoft, and YouTube, all for the same price. And you could buy it as well.
A little more restricted in Australia. Just Apple TV, Amazon, and Microsoft that I'm seeing here.
Oh, eh?
Yeah.
I don't recall changing my country on this.
No, different list in the US. Apparently I'm just...
Do you have a filter on, or...?
Might be a filter thing, but I don't... No, I'm not signed in, so it wouldn't be.
Right. Okay. Don't know.
Dunno.
Anyway, it does appear to be available to rent, and I would encourage you to do so. It's just such a fun, wacky, crazy, messed up film. And it's interesting that... In Australia, it has a G rating. Mm-hmm. There's certainly no sex in it. There's no language as such. There's numerous little bits of innuendo, especially concerning stones, rocks. Somebody propositions someone in a somewhat inappropriate manner, but look, it's just a wild, fun film. Yeah. I did, harking back to the conversation that we had a number of podcasts ago that had a little bit of listener feedback on concerning things that have been acceptable that aren't acceptable now. The scene in the drugstore where the person behind the register is smoking. Mm-hmm. Just the idea of that happening these days. There was a scene... very early on in the place where Barbra Streisand's character is just about to enter the hotel where a large portion of this movie is set. And all through the beginning of the film, she's basically causing mayhem. Not deliberately for a lot of the early bits of it, but she's crossing a road and a car screeches to a halt, and then another car drives into the back of that car, and she's blissfully unaware of all of this happening. It turns out that scene was thought up at the last minute.
Yeah.
They couldn't get any stunt cars, so the director sent a couple of people out to rent some cars and also pay for collision insurance from the rental place. So you pay an extra premium, film the scene, and then return the damaged cars afterwards and said, "Oh, they're in an accident." They certainly got bingled, and there was certainly plenty of bingled cars in this.
Yeah.
The car chase scene is just so superbly done. San Francisco will probably disagree. They certainly damaged property in the filming of that. You can still see signs of it in those steps, apparently, where the cars drove down that steep set of stairs and bounced onto steps and dislodged large sections of steps. So, yeah, apparently the damage is still visible, and they weren't well pleased.
And, the car chase has all the tropes. Every possible car chase trope is well and truly covered.
Yeah, we've got ladders, we've got panes of glass, we've got police, we've got parades. It's got everything.
Yeah.
You got to watch it.
Yeah.
You really do. As you can see, I made very little notes because even though I've watched it a number of times, you just have to watch and just absorb it and enjoy it. And I hope I'm not hyping it up too much.
No, I don't think you are.
It really is a timeless film and well worth your watch. Do you have anything else you wish to say about What's Up, Doc?
No.
No. I do have to also say, before we finish, because it just sprang to me, G. Barbara Streisand could act.
Yep.
Sorry, that sounded very past tense. I don't think she's doing much acting anymore. She is still alive, but she did a good job in this. Yeah.
You said it and you've set me off now. Good job.
What did I say? Is she still acting? What was the last movie that Babs was, or Babs?
Wikipedia still lists her as active, but she does more than just films, so...
You always go to Wikipedia. Why do you do that?
I go to Wikipedia because usually their tables are compact.
Oh, I just open up IMDb and...
Last film was The Guilt Trip in 2012.
So almost 13 years ago.
Last television appearance, The Music, the Memories, the Magic, on Netflix, which I assume would have been some sort of special.
Probably, yeah.
Hasn't been in the theatre since 1966.
Yeah.
Yes. The Music, the Memories, the Magic was the name of a tour.
Okay. Huh. All right then. Well, that was worth pursuing.
You want to move on?
Yeah, I think we should. Okay, let's move on.
The following segment has no title. Thank you. And we will start over on Discord with Entosferatu.
Hi, Entosferatu.
A Scottish shindig is clearly a hootenanny.
Nuch de hootenanny.
Some research was done.
Yes.
Turns out Kaylee,
which is spelt just as it sounds.
Ceilidh.
Kaylee. Yeah. And that was the word that was actually used in the film. Yes.
And then there's a guess, so we move on to E of Pie.
Hi, E of Pie.
It says, I've heard of problem exists between keyboard and chair, implying that the problem is the human. But this is a new and novel one.
Yeah, it's a bit like the nut behind the wheel.
Entosferatu chimes in at this point and says, PebSap? Problem exists between Seaton pneumatics? The response, PebSap's a bold guess, but I think you're supposed to spoiler them.
Right. Yes.
I don't impose that requirement on our dear listener. They have chosen to do this of their own accord. And they're welcome to continue doing it.
Yeah.
I don't particularly care.
No.
Over on Mastodon.
Mastodon! Our first comment from Mastodon. I don't know whether this is actually a dear listener, but it's somebody who I follow on Mastodon and they follow me, and got quite excited by the fact that, it looks like somebody else is watching Local Hero.
Ben.
Hi, Ben.
Says, I remember the first time watching Local Hero. Rented it after watching this ringing endorsement from Mark Commode on a segment he did for the Culture Show.
And provided a link on YouTube for a very, very well-made segment. I was quite impressed with it. I don't know whether you ended up watching it.
I didn't know.
Slacker. I'm too busy. Sorry.
No, I just want to be doing other things.
All the things. I want to do the things.
Yeah.
Okay.
And with a comment on YouTube from M.
Hi, M.
We come up to the guesses.
We do. Let's start with M.
M has gone with Local Hero. That's Loclhero.
Fair enough. That does fill the 8 spaces there.
E of Pi says, my guess, Local Hero, spelt Loclhero.
Oh, okay.
And Entuos Raushi says, my guess for this week is Local Hero, spelt Loclhero.
So what are you saying here?
What I'm saying is that if I scroll down to the table on the top line, in bold, it reads Local Hero, Loclhero.
No, there's no R in it.
No, there is.
There's an R there, but not at the beginning.
No.
No. You went RLOCLHERO. Which is also 9 letters, Thomas. You're confusing our dear listener.
Am I?
Yes.
Am I really?
Yeah. Okay, so just to clarify, I entered last week as the file name Loclhero, which appears to be what Entuos Ferratu, E of Pi, and M all guessed. So you get a prize.
Yep.
You get a prize, or an arbitrary point. Yeah, you all get arbitrary points, all those who guessed. Well done. Thank you for participating. I'm about to show Thomas what file name I chose for What's Up Doc. Yeah.
Not completely gettable, but I think reasonably so.
Again, it was a case of spinning the dials, and yep, that fits. So not a lot of thought went into it. I think if you read what I typed in, you can get What's Up Doc.
Yeah.
Yeah.
If any of our dear listeners would like to make a guess at what I have just seen on the screen across from me, you can do so in the comment section below the YouTube video, or over on Twitter, or on Facebook, or I guess by replying to Colin's Mastodon.
I was quite chuffed when that happened. Yeah.
Also, any sorts of movie suggestions, any other sort of commentary in all of those places.
We'd love to hear from you.
Yes.
All right. Well, I think we might move on then.
Pick a film for next week so we can go to bed.
Sir, it is your turn.
It is my turn. And so I am going to check what I put on my calendar for next week. And I'm just trying to come up with a nice, concise plot synopsis. Okay, that will do. Okay, this movie came out in 2016.
Okay.
It is not on the shelf. So we shall be streaming it on either Netflix or Stan in Australia. And I shall start reading the plot synopsis here. On January the 15th, 2009, the world witnessed the miracle on the Hudson when Captain Sullenberg...
Sully.
It is indeed Sully, but I've started, so I shall continue. Captain Sully Sullenberger glided his disabled plane onto the frigid waters of the Hudson River, saving the lives of all 155 aboard. However, even as Sully was being heralded by the public and the media for his unprecedented feat of aviation skill, an investigation was unfolding that threatened to destroy his reputation and his career. So a little bit of aviation, a little bit of I'm the captain. Oh no, that's another film, isn't it? With Tom Hanks. So he's captain planes, he's captain boats, he runs a train in the Polar Express.
Yeah, among other things.
Yes. So that's planes, trains, boats and automobiles. Does he have... I'm sure he drives a car in some movie. We're watching Sully next week.
Uh-huh.
With Tom Hanks. We hope that you can join us, but until then, we'll catch you next time.
Bye.
You have been listening to Cellulose Free. Your hosts were Colin, who produces and edits the show, and Thomas, who makes the artwork and music. Cellulose Free is recorded in the Deranged Cat Studios in scenic Tasmania, Australia. We keep track of our extensive physical media collection through My Movies, which we highly recommend. You can find links to that, as well as other places you can find us in the show notes. Cellulose Free is a Hi Hello production.
Which would appear to be Battlefield Earth.
Didn't we watch that for this?
Yes.
Right.
I think that was, in fact, for Still Under Wraps.
Oh, yes. It definitely was.
Yeah.
It did take some time to work up the courage, I guess. And I honestly cannot remember a thing of it.
Yeah.
Other than a really bad hairdo and some poor explosions.
Dear listener, assuming you're listening to this at, the end of the podcast, the context is that I've sorted the My Movies database from worst rated to best, and Battlefield Earth has come up as the top of the list.
I should also point out, dear listener, that it is now sitting on a stack of DVDs that are basically in limbo. The grand plan has always been to get rid of them, but it just hasn't happened.
Who wants these terrible films?
Oh, pick me. Alrighty. Can I just double check your levels?
Yep. Oh. Gurgles.
Gurgles.
The gurgles. Yep, here are some levels. I am producing a volume of gurgles.
Yep. The collective for gurgle is a volume of gurgles.
Well, it's mostly gas, isn't it?
It is. Anyway, are you ready?
Sure.